What if everything you were taught about being a good person was a lie? You've always been told that kindness leads to success, that honesty is rewarded, and that doing the right thing will eventually bring you recognition. But look around. Does the world really work that way? How many times have you seen good people ignored, taken for granted, or even used by others? How often do the strongest, not the kindest, rise to the top? Deep down, you already know the truth. Being good is not enough. This is where Niccolò Machiavelli comes in. A political thinker feared and misunderstood for centuries. He saw the world as it really is, a place where power rewards the strategic, not the naive. His masterpiece, The Prince, does not tell you to abandon morality, but to stop being blind to reality. It teaches that goodness without strength is a weakness, and morality without intelligence is a trap. So ask yourself, have you been playing by the wrong rules? Have you mistaken passivity for virtue? Today, we're going to uncover the dark side of goodness, the lessons Machiavelli left for those who dare to take control of their own fate. By the end, you will know how to balance morality with power, kindness with strategy, and idealism with intelligence. Because in this world, you are either a player or a pawn. Think about the last time you did something good, something selfless. Maybe you helped a friend, stayed honest in a difficult situation, or put someone else's needs before your own. Now ask yourself, did that act of goodness make you stronger, or did it make you vulnerable? Machiavelli understood a truth that most people refuse to accept. Human nature is not as noble as we like to believe. People are not naturally fair, honest, or grateful. They are selfish, opportunistic, and, when necessary, ruthless. This doesn't mean that every person is evil, but it does mean that in moments of survival, morality often takes a back seat to self-interest. This is why goodness alone is not a strategy. It's an invitation to be taken advantage of. The world doesn't reward the most virtuous. It rewards the most strategic. History has proven this time and time again. Those who rise to power, those who achieve great things, do not rely on pure goodness. They rely on intelligence, adaptability, and control. Machiavelli's lesson is simple. If you refuse to see the world as it is, you will always be at the mercy of those who do. He was not telling you to abandon kindness, but rather to combine it with strength, cunning, and an understanding of human nature. So ask yourself, are you playing the game with open eyes, or are you still hoping that the world will one day reward your innocence? Because if you don't learn how to balance goodness with power, you'll always be at the mercy of those who do. Would you rather be loved or feared? It's a question that makes many people uncomfortable. We want to believe that love and admiration will bring us power and respect, that if we are good, kind, and fair, people will treat us the same way in return. But look at the world. Is it love that keeps people in power, or is it fear? Machiavelli had a clear answer. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Before you reject this idea, think about it logically. Love is fragile. It depends on emotions, and emotions change. One day, people love you, the next, they forget you. But fear? Fear is consistent. Fear keeps people in check even when love fades. A leader who is feared commands respect, while a leader who is only loved is easily ignored. This doesn't mean you should be cruel or oppressive. Machiavelli warned against ruling with excessive brutality because that leads to hatred, and hatred is dangerous. The goal is not to be hated. It is to be respected. When people respect you, they think twice before crossing you. They know that your kindness has limits, and that if necessary, you will take action. Now, think about your own life. Have you been seeking approval instead of respect? Have you been afraid to assert yourself because you don't want to lose love? The truth is, love without strength is worthless. People may like you, but they won't take you seriously. So ask yourself again, would you rather be loved or respected? What matters more? Who you really are, or how people perceive you? We like to believe that our true self will eventually shine through, that people will recognize our hard work, intelligence, and kindness without us having to prove it. But reality doesn't work that way. People don't follow the most capable person. They follow the one who looks the most capable. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He knew that power is not just about what you are, but about what others believe you to be. A weak but confident leader will often command more respect than a strong but insecure one. Why? Because perception shapes reality. Think about the workplace. You've seen it before. Talented people overlooked while others, who are less skilled but better at appearing important, get promotions. Competence is essential, but the ability to project power is what makes the difference between being ignored and being recognized. This is why Machiavelli advised rulers to always manage their image. If you appear weak, people will treat you as weak. If you appear strong, even those who doubt you will hesitate to challenge you. So, what about you? How do people perceive you? Do you project confidence, or do you come across as someone who can be pushed around? Do you let your actions speak for themselves, or do you take control of your own narrative? In this world, it's not just about having power. It's about making sure others see that you have it. And if you don't shape your own image, someone else will shape it for you. How much do people really know about you? If you're an open book, if you share every thought, every plan, and every feeling, then you're making a dangerous mistake. Machiavelli understood that power is not just about what you do, but about what you allow others to know. Most people believe that honesty means full transparency, but in reality, information is power, and those who control it hold the upper hand. Look at the most influential figures in history. How often did they reveal their full intentions? The most powerful individuals are not the ones who speak the most, but the ones who speak wisely, selectively, and with purpose. When you reveal too much, you become predictable. Predictability makes you easy to manipulate. If people always know what you'll do next, they can plan around you, outmaneuver you, or use your own words against you. That's why Machiavelli advised rulers to conceal their true intentions, to reveal only what is necessary, and to always keep others guessing. This doesn't mean lying. It means learning the power of silence, the ability to hold back, to say less than you think, and to control the flow of information around you gives you an advantage. So ask yourself, are you giving people too much access to your thoughts? Are you allowing others to use your own words and emotions against you? Because in a world where knowledge is power, your silence can be your greatest weapon. How easy are you to predict? If people always know how you'll react, if they can anticipate your every move, you've already lost power. Predictability is a weakness because it allows others to manipulate and control you. Machiavelli knew that those who cannot be anticipated are the ones who command the most respect. Think about it. The most dangerous players in any game are not the ones who follow the same routine, but the ones who are impossible to read. Their unpredictability keeps opponents nervous, forces them to hesitate, and gives them the upper hand in every negotiation or confrontation. Machiavelli advised rulers to avoid being too consistent. If people always expect kindness, they will take advantage of it. If they always expect aggression, they will find ways to undermine it. But if they never know what you'll do next, they will always be on edge, always cautious, and always aware of your power. This is why great leaders, strategists, and even warriors throughout history have used unpredictability as a weapon. If people can't pin you down, they can't control you. If they're unsure how you'll respond, they're forced to treat you with caution and respect. So ask yourself, are you too predictable? Do people know exactly how to push your buttons? If so, you're making it too easy for them. Be deliberate, be strategic, and above all, never let anyone fully figure you out. Why do people value what they can't easily have? The answer is simple. Scarcity creates desire. What is rare is respected. What is always available is taken for granted. Machiavelli understood this principle and warned against becoming too accessible. A leader who is always present, always giving, always seeking approval, loses their value. Look at history. The most respected figures, whether in politics, business, or even personal relationships, know the power of absence. They don't try to be everywhere at once. They choose their moments. They let people miss them. And when they do appear, their presence has an impact. Now, think about your own life. Have you made yourself too available? Do people take your time, effort, and kindness for granted? If so, it's because you haven't controlled your own presence. When you are always there, when you give too much, when you try too hard, people stop seeing your value. Machiavelli advised rulers to avoid excessive familiarity, not because they should ignore their people, but because too much exposure weakens authority. When you give too much of yourself, you become a resource, not a force to be respected. So, start applying this principle. Be less available. Withdraw strategically. Let people wonder where you are, and watch how their perception of you begins to change. Because in a world where presence equals power, your absence can be your greatest tool. Who really holds the power in a conversation? The one who speaks the loudest or the one who stays calm? Most people believe that strength comes from aggression, from reacting quickly, from showing dominance. But Machiavelli understood that true power lies in control, especially emotional control. The person who cannot be provoked, who does not react impulsively, who remains composed under pressure, is the one who controls the situation. Think about the last time you got angry. Did that anger help you, or did it make you vulnerable? Did it make you stronger, or did it allow someone else to push you into reacting? The moment someone else controls your emotions, they control you. Machiavelli advised rulers to act with cold calculation rather than passion. It's not about suppressing emotions, it's about mastering them. When you remain calm while others lose control, you gain the upper hand. Whether in a negotiation, a conflict, or a difficult conversation, the person who stays composed is the one who wins. Now, look at yourself. Do people know how to get under your skin? Do they know which buttons to push? If so, they have power over you. The key is to break that pattern, to train yourself to pause, to breathe, to observe, rather than to react. Because the most dangerous person in the room is not the loudest. It's the one who cannot be shaken. Do you act with purpose, or do you act out of impulse? Most people believe that success comes from taking constant action, from always moving, always pushing forward. But Machiavelli knew that power does not belong to those who move the fastest. It belongs to those who move at the right time. Think of a hunter. They don't chase their prey blindly. They wait. They observe, they analyze, and when the moment is perfect, they strike. That's how power works. The most successful leaders, strategists, and thinkers in history have one thing in common. They know how to wait. The world is full of people who act without thinking, who make decisions based on emotion rather than strategy. But those who truly dominate the game are the ones who understand the power of patience. Machiavelli wrote that a wise ruler knows when to hold back and when to act. Moving too soon can ruin an opportunity. Waiting too long can let an opportunity slip away. The key is to develop an instinct for timing, to see when the conditions are in your favor and when they are not. So ask yourself, are you acting strategically or are you just reacting to the moment? If you want to master power, you must learn to wait, to observe, to calculate, and to move only when the time is right. Because in the end, it's not the fastest who win, it's the smartest. Do you play by the rules that were given to you, or do you create your own? Most people follow the same patterns, obey the same social norms, and think within the limits that society has placed on them. But Machiavelli understood that true power does not come from following the system. It comes from mastering it, bending it, and knowing when to step outside of it. Look at the most influential people in history. Were they the ones who conformed, who did what was expected of them, who played it safe? No. They were the ones who dared to be different, the ones who didn't wait for permission, the ones who rewrote the rules in their favor. Machiavelli believed that power belongs to those who refuse to be predictable, who challenge expectations, who are always one step ahead. If you act like everyone else, you will get the same results as everyone else. And what does that lead to? Mediocrity. To become an anomaly, you must learn to think differently, to question the rules you've been taught, to stop assuming that playing fair will get you ahead. Because the world is not designed to reward those who simply exist. It rewards those who take control. So ask yourself, are you just another player in the system? Or are you the one who will redefine it? Because those who truly succeed are not the ones who follow the path. They are the ones who create it. Now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? You've seen the pattern. The world doesn't reward blind kindness. It rewards strategy. It doesn't respect passivity. It respects power. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince to tell people to be cruel. He wrote it to show them how to survive. And now you have a choice. Will you continue to live in the illusion that goodness alone is enough? Or will you learn to balance goodness with strength, kindness with intelligence, and morality with strategy? This is not about abandoning your values. It's about understanding that in a world of wolves, you cannot afford to be a lamb. You must learn to read people, to control perception, to manage your presence, and to act with purpose. You must stop reacting and start strategizing. Think about your life. How many times have you been overlooked? How many times have you been taken for granted? How many times have you let others define your value instead of taking control of it yourself? That ends now, because power belongs to those who understand the rules of the game, and the greatest players are the ones who know when to be kind, when to be firm, and when to strike. So, are you ready to stop being a pawn?